right, welcome back to Goal Gutters. Hi, I'm your host, John Ristino, with my friend and co-host, Scott Taggart. How's it going, Scott?
Good, man. How are you?
All right. Feels like I don't know why it's a long week. I felt like we haven't done a show in about. I don't know. I know we did last week. It just feels like there was a gap somewhere.
Yeah. Probably because
Long week.
From home.
Yeah, maybe that's why we weren't inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's been
Doesn't it?
forever,
Yeah. Wade's here. He's doing what he does, controlling the ship, and Robin, of course. Well, you'll be hearing from her. Robin's question and all that. And I don't know, Scott. Everything's happening. Everything's going on, right? You got all of it happening. Football. We'll be talking about some stuff with Colin Kaepernick later. Interesting stuff, right? Yeah, very interesting. And then something else that you found with the 49ers, which is funny but
tasty,
interesting.
huh?
Yeah. That was like old time stuff. We were talking about off the air, Jim Rome type stuff, but you can't emulate. You can't try to do that anymore. To be a Jim, nothing shocks you any. No. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I'm not shy. Are you? I mean, anything goes.
I'm actually surprised it took long.
Right.
We can get into it later.
Yeah, we definitely will get into it later.
It took this long before this happened.
I know.
To be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, there's been a. Yeah, we'll get into it later. I know, but it's such an incredible. I love it because it's kind of like what we're doing here, podcasting. That's what he's doing. He's doing a podcast for Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
But he has access to everything because he's a credentialed guy. And right? Yeah. Yes. I think that's what's his name was saying. McAfee was saying that he's
Yeah.
And so we'll get into him later. But we should probably real quick because you got to talk about it. The NBA playoffs and Eastern Conference Finals tonight. The Boston Celtics can close it out at home at 8:30 tonight against Miami. They're up 3-2. Jaylen Brown's been incredible, along with, of course, Tatum. So they're all indications would be, I'd imagine Boston will close it out tonight.
I think
know?
so. I believe that they're going to end it tonight myself.
Because it has been the last two games, Boston has won by 20. And then they won. They held them to 80 points.
Yeah, they look
so
good.
yeah. So I would assume that tonight, but I don't know. I wonder what the line is on that. I haven't checked it out.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm not sure.
I'm not either. It's got to be. I'm gonna guess. If I had to guess, I'd say it was like 6.
I was going to say 5.
5. Okay, yeah, that's what I would think.
5, so 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't see how I could play the game though, in any other than going with Boston. I don't know. Miami, though,
Boston
I mean...
just has looked so good lately. They are just on a tear.
I know. And it's defense. It's defense with them. It really is.
Yeah, they've been playing great.
Tatum is a star that we knew was one, but now I guess he's just really elevated himself.
He's more...
And Jaylen Brown.
Up a level.
Jaylen Brown's really good. So, yeah, I can't see it. I'd love to say that Miami would go to a Game 7, but I don't know. I'd be shocked. But other things shocked me in some other sports this week because we'll get into that. But that would surprise me if Miami won that one. And if anyone's out there that wants to message us, do whatever, go to the message board, please. I'd love to take any questions that you may have or any comments. But the other side in the West, Golden State dismissed of the Mavericks 4-1. Oh, it's 8.5. The line's 8.5.
8.5, 8.
Ooh.
It's pretty much 8.5. I'm seeing it across.
See, now I would... now, I might, if I had to, go Miami with that number.
I might take it because I think Miami's going to keep it closer than that. I don't know.
Fighting for their life, playoff lives.
Right.
I mean,
8.5's a lot of points.
that is a lot. I mean, because it is. And then anything, you know how that's going to go. You know how it's going to go down. Right. You know exactly where we'll be at around 30 seconds left in the game. And they'll be on 7.
It's going to be, or 9.
Or 9, yeah. And everyone... Foul shots will be missed, and people will step out of bounds, just for no reason.
That's when the dumb shit happens.
Yeah,
It kills your bets.
And it makes no sense. So Golden State, though, now is waiting for the winners. They dismissed of Dallas 4-1, and they look like a machine. Back to the way they were a little bit, and because you add Jordan Poole into that, and guys like Wiggins, it's kind of somewhat unfair, but I think Boston will be very good against them defensively. I'm curious to see if Smart's healthy and all that stuff, if Boston can do anything to slow them down.
It's going to be a good matchup, I think.
I think so, too.
But I think Golden State, they
Yeah,
really look good.
Klay Thompson's back, so he looks
very strong.
Yeah, Thompson being back is a good thing for them. I mean, he
You were
looks
saying
really
earlier,
good. Yeah,
it's when one guy's not hitting,
yeah,
someone always is right there to step in like it's supposed to be.
yeah.
And it's just a well-oiled machine. Right
Because
now.
you're adding Poole to the mix too. Because before it was just Thompson and Curry really. Now you got Jordan Poole, who is. It's just amazing that they get him. And you know they had that point where Golden State. When was it last year? See, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna forget, or maybe it was 2 years ago, where they missed the playoffs. It was during COVID that they just weren't even in, and they looked. And they
correct
looked
me if
as,
I'm wrong, I thought it was last year.
maybe it
too.
was like
Might
they
be,
and
but
they
anyway.
looked as though they were just where they were done. There was
Yeah, I
that
know, I was
feeling
kinda
of like,
shocked, like
yeah.
they were kind of falling apart.
but you know, Klay Thompson comes back and Draymond Green. It's for me, it's Poole. I keep bringing his name up, but he's the difference maker because even when Thompson was kind of getting himself back into playing shape and doing whatever he was doing, Poole just took over the role, and sometimes he takes over games himself. But you know, the other thing is too with Golden State is I will say this: I think Boston could have an advantage as far as the going to the basket, the rebounding part of it. I have a I don't know. I think they're a little bit. I guess there would be like grittier
Yeah.
than Golden
yeah,
State. Like I
right.
could see
I
their
know what you mean.
trying to mix it up, make this a little bit
Chippy
dirty.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think you're going to have to. I think Golden
That's
State.
kind of how they've been playing right along, right?
Yeah, and Golden State kind of always just skates around, I feel like. There's never really anything. Draymond will do what he does sometimes, but, you know, I mean, it's a lot of three-pointers. Clay, I mean, they're so good, though. I mean, I'm just saying, I would think Boston maybe can just try to just dirty it up a little
Yeah.
to try
I'm
to
sure they'll try
do
to
something.
dirty it up. I have no doubt about that. If that's a matchup that ends up happening.
Yeah, Miami, don't forget, though, Boston, Miami tonight, Boston's minus 8.5.
Counting Miami out, and they're there for a reason
Yeah.
as well. So maybe they'll get their act together.
Yeah, maybe
tonight
they
and
win.
Make it a series.
Yeah, and go to Game
see.
7. Robin, I want to ask you. You have a question about the NBA that you're giving out to the audience and to us. What do you got?
Yes. I just want your opinion. If Curry wins another championship, do you think he surpasses Magic Johnson as the best point guard of all time?
No, and here's why. I don't think he's a point guard. I just don't think these guys play that game like they used to. Like point guards in the past
Right, like a specific
were assists.
role. Specific
You know,
role.
were assists, and they were. And Magic was at 6 foot whatever. He was big. We didn't see him like that. He used to be like John Stockton's and all that, the littler players. But it's hard for me to put Curry in that category as a point guard. You know what I mean? I almost think you'd have to go by era. I don't know if I could even do that.
Yeah, I
'Cause
get what you're saying.
He doesn't do what
The
point guards
position's
do.
changed, really.
It has changed.
Maybe there is no
how it's
point guard
used.
anymore.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
trying to think
I know what you mean.
because I can't think of one.
Guys are
Probably the
Close.
closest.
Chris
Yeah,
Paul
right.
probably is, and he's even.
And, right.
You know, because there was no time that Magic was scoring 40.
No.
You know, but he
I
did.
just looked up, I looked
Interesting.
At the stats, and you're at Magic averaged 19 and a half points, 11.2 assists, and
Yeah.
7.2 rebounds.
And that's the game.
And that's in 13 seasons. Curry also played 13 seasons, and he averaged 24.3 points, 6.6.5 assists.
He's not a point guard.
1.6 rebounds.
He's just not a point guard.
Yeah,
He's just
no.
not. He's a shooting guard. If he plays in that era, that's what he is. He's
Yeah.
the off guard or maybe even small forward, right?
Yeah,
Who could shoot the
yeah.
ball. And because you figure back then, he's giving the ball to Kareem. He's giving the ball
Sure,
to James
right.
Worthy.
He's all over the
He's
place.
it's not. That was just the game, though. I mean, the Celtics
Yeah,
back
that's the
when
way they were.
it had Dennis Johnson. I mean, he was the guy. He just gave it to Larry Bird.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it went from that to Stockton, right?
Yeah.
And after Stockton, it went to Kidd, and I don't see anybody after Kidd. Just-
You're probably right. He might be the last true point guard. That might be a good point. I don't know.
Things started changing.
Yeah, things really did. Because how do you? I mean, I say this all the time. I mean, as I'm watching the NBA, it's a different game than I remember. Like it's just
Lot
different. There's no point guard and there's no big man. They don't do that much anymore. Like Jokic, whatever, he's shooting three. I mean,
was
that's
just about
not
to say,
even.
the big guys are dropping
Yeah.
back. They're shooting 3-pointers.
They're not. How many of them do you ever see post up like they used? They don't.
Yeah, no.
They don't.
Uh-uh.
And it'd be interesting if there was someone who did, but a guy like Shaq couldn't make it now. I don't know if he
No,
could. Not if you're going to play this way. You know, the
Not
way
his game.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Not the way he. Yeah, no, right.
I
get
don't
what
think
you're
he
saying.
could play. And then I don't know. You think back, and this is because we're old, but like you just your point guard was your point guard. Your off guard was what he was. You had the shooting guard. Power forward was rebound, go to the basket, type of thing.
Right.
And then the center. They don't have, like I said, I don't see one. I'm looking at the teams that are left. There was no center, really. I mean, Jokic was the guy in the Mavs.
Right.
There's no real center to look at. I think like the Suns had that with Ayton, but he also it's not the same.
Right.
It's not to go down to the block and to get the ball. And so I don't know. Good question, though, Robin. I can't see. I think that was a good point, too, Wade. Kid might be. I can't think, like Stephon Marbury, I guess he was, too. And it's probably at the same time. They're all in the same time frame.
Oh, yeah. They played around the same
They're
time.
definite same time,
Right.
Wasn't Marbury the
Mark
guy-
Jackson.
Didn't he do Stephen Barry's where he
Yes.
designed all the really cool stuff for kids?
Yeah,
Super
he did something real cool for the sneakers. Yeah, trying to take it off, make Marbury sneakers like only $20. That was kind of, I remember back then. That was cool. Yeah. But yeah, I guess there was a bunch of them back then. But Kid is the last one. There's just nobody left, and I kind of miss it a little in basketball sometimes. Like I'm looking, like there's no the traveling. Have you seen this? It's way different than I remember.
Yeah,
It's 3 steps.
I do. Trust me,
Yeah.
I have a hard time watching it.
Right.
I'm yelling all the
yeah.
time. What is that?
Now there's a when we were watching in the
There's steps and a half.
in a hop. Yeah.
It's I've
Eric.
never seen it it's ridiculous.
And then even now there's something we didn't have. There's defensive 3 seconds, where it was
Right.
only offensive. Now there's defensive, and I still don't really completely grasp it much. I think I do, but I don't even want to pay attention to it. I don't know. 3 seconds, and you play zone. Remember, you couldn't play zone in the NBA either. It was always man to man. There was no zone way back when.
Right.
Now you're playing
Back in the
zone
day.
again. Anyways, we need to
The
get.
game's totally changed.
It has changed. We need to get into the NHL playoffs now. Well, before we get into the couple videos we got, Tampa, since we last met, swept away the Florida Panthers. The President's Trophy winning Florida Panthers were gone 4-0. Florida only scored 3 goals in that series, so Vasilevsky and Tampa move on. Who else got... And Edmonton. Well, you know what? I want to show this goal. Look, I want to show this goal because this is a shocker that St. Louis won. That St. Louis came back to win this game, and they have pushed it to a Game 6 today. I mean, this is one of the goals of the playoff year. I mean, that's an incredible goal right there. That goal takes the lead later in the game. I mean, I believe that was the goal that made it 4-3. I mean, yeah, look at. I mean, kind of an old defenseman there, and Nick Leddy. But what are you going to do? He's like a pylon. But here you go. Now look at this. It's 4-3. That was the game. That was the leading goal. A minute left. 4-3. Blues pull the goalie, and well, you'll see right now. And there you go. Because in McKinnon's goal was the hat trick too. All the hats were on the ice, the whole deal, and this was an impressive win. If they win tonight, look out, because Game 7, anything can happen. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
It's up for grabs. You don't know what could happen. Colorado better close it out tonight, or they could go home. And if that happens, wow. But St. Louis, they won. They're the ones that you got. Tampa won 2 cups in a row, and St. Louis was the one before that. And unfortunately, Bennington got knocked out. But this Husso is playing very well, and he was their starter anyways. And Tyler Bozak's going to win the game here in about 1. Oh no, what am I seeing? Oh no, this is the end of the third, and you'll see Bozak end the game in overtime. I was stunned. I watched it. I was watching this game and turned it away, turned it off, went to baseball, thinking it was over. Never in a million years did I think that the Blues would come back to win this one. And it was an easy shot. Bozak just shoots this from here, And there you go. And now they're on to tonight. Be a good one, 8 o'clock. The Blues at home. And that's one thing you got to remember about them. I guess we were just talking about. They have that championship thing about them. They know how to win. Ryan O'Reilly, the whole bunch of them, even Tyler Bozak, and I don't know. If I'm Colorado, I'm nervous. You need this one tonight. You know, this is what you got to have this win tonight.
You don't want to
No.
put yourself in these types of situations,
Definitely not. You do not want to go back.
especially somebody that you most likely should have taken care of already.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Because much like Florida, Colorado all year long
It's that momentum.
was
Just,
the, yeah.
you can feel it. You know what I mean? You can feel it when it starts swinging.
It was 4-3 there. That goal, the greatest goal of the playoffs, you know, with only 3.5 minutes left. The hats. They threw the hats. And then you get that from the hats. Carolina and the Rangers. Carolina's up 3-2. Here's something interesting on that one in that series. Carolina has not lost a home game yet this year. They're 7-0. They haven't lost a home game in the playoffs.
Nice.
They haven't won a away game.
Away game in this series, I believe, right?
I thought it was throughout the whole.
Oh, is it throughout the whole thing? You're probably right. So it'll be interesting. They're in New York for Game 6, leading 3-2 tomorrow night. Again, they want to close. You got to close this out. Game 6. I'll tell you, I'd love to know that stat. If you lose Game 6, what happens going into Game 7?
Odds.
Especially when you're up 3-2, and
lost
and obviously
percentage
you
for the
lose.
series.
You lose Game 6. What happens in Game 7?
I'd be interested. Because that momentum
Yeah, I know
it
it.
swings like that so quick. You know what I mean? Those guys' hearts get huge, and they're
Yeah.
like, man, we can do it.
You're playing with house money then. You know what I mean? Like when you're, not the Rangers so much because this has been such a tight series. It isn't like the Blues. This has been close. This has been a really good series with good goaltending. And tomorrow night at I don't even know what time tomorrow, but whatever. Check it out tomorrow, Game 6. Last night was a problem for me, and we'll get in. This is the one I really couldn't wait to get into. The Edmonton Oilers, dismissed of Calgary 4-1. We got the video of the no goal here. There's Blake Coleman going to the net, and you'll get a better view of this. But this is outrageous. This is unbelievable. Now remember, in the NHL, you can score with your skate as long as you don't kick it. If it's you can direct it in if you want. This puck's going into the net. He's getting tackled by Cody Ceci there, the defenseman.
That's ridiculous.
And that would make it 5-4 with 5 minutes left in the third. And there he goes. And I don't think he kicked it at all. Well, he's getting attacked. He's getting tackled by number 5. I don't know if he kicked. I can't imagine it's a kick. I don't see it. I mean, no, because the only reason is all the other games.
The reason they think it's a kick is because he stops.
Well, he stops. He's
Like
going.
it's a stop. So
He's going to the.
Right, is it like
he's
you
gonna
know what
run
I
in-
mean? Is he doing
yeah.
it? I see.
He's going to run into the post. I mean, the other problem I have is the other guy, Cody Ceci, there, the defenseman. I mean, he is riding him off into the thing. Here, there he is, right there. He falls. I mean, how do you know if that knocked him off
Right. Sure.
balance? And to disallow this goal at this time is just outrage. Is to me disgusting. The two referees in the Leaf series were taken out of the playoffs. They're not doing any more games because of the high. I think it was because of those high sticks in Game 6. This year's got to be the same thing. That should be going to a Game 6.
Yeah.
That was terrible. I mean, Blake Coleman. I don't know the puck. Now, if that never happened, the puck's going in. That puck's going
there's
in
no
the
doubt
net.
It was going in. If it had, yeah,
I can't understand.
definitely going in.
I was stunned. Now these referees wouldn't be taken out. Obviously, it was replay. They went back to the replay people, and they said that was no goal. I was shocked, absolutely shocked. And then Connor McDavid wins the game in overtime. Him and Draisaitl have 26 points in 12 games.
Beasts.
That's Gretzky-like stuff. That's stuff we haven't seen before in the playoffs. So.
That's what they said he was going to be, right?
Yeah, they're above. They're just above. Right now, I still don't believe that they got enough to beat Colorado if it is them, or definitely Tampa, because the goaltending, it's just a matter of time. 41 years old.
Falls apart.
Well, figure these games against Calgary won 9-6, 5-3, 5-3, 5-4. I mean, I don't. All I'm saying is things won't be as easy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
Right.
It's just not as easy. There's someone to match up with McDavid, even though he'll still get his. It's kind of like what Tampa does to Austin Matthews. They have someone ready to try, at least to be the one who gets in the way.
Right.
Not that you just are going to the neutral zone like that.
So
I
they're
mean,
probably not going to be having 5-goal games. And,
I'd be shocked
right.
against especially if they get to Tampa. I mean, I don't think Colorado. Well, you never know. I mean, look at what's going on tonight. St. Louis wins tonight. Edmonton plays St. Louis. I gotta say, Edmonton's the favorite to move on. I think. The thing is with St. Louis, though, they got, like I told you just a few minutes ago, they got that pedigree stuff where they've won before.
That matters.
Conn Smythe winner, the whole deal.
matters.
Yeah.
It really matters.
I don't know if Jordan Bennington could be back. Robin, do you know if Jordan Bennington could be back for the series? I don't think so, huh? For the remainder of the year, he's out?
I think he's out for
The remainder of the year? Unfortunate, because he was the one that won that cup for them and out of nowhere. Do you have a hockey question for us?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Of the remaining teams, who do you think has the most pressure to actually win it all?
Of the remaining teams?
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting because Edmonton has no pressure at this point. They've already done more than you would
It would
expected.
probably be Tampa due to
Yeah.
what would then be on the line, right? Because then it'd be 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row. Yeah, that's on the line. That hasn't happened in a long, long time. 3 years, it's since,
Right.
man, I don't even think the Penguins did. I think you got to go back to the 80s and the Islanders. Or, yeah, I mean, I don't even think Edmonton did it. The Gretzky Edmonton. I don't think they ever won. Maybe I'm wrong.
Avalanche at number 1 though overall.
It was, it was Florida who got swept out the door. Now Colorado. Colorado is in the West.
Right. So,
Yeah.
weren't they number 1 in the West?
They were,
So
yes.
I would say they'd probably be
Pressure's there.
the pressure's right there.
Mm-hmm. They definitely do. Yeah, I agree. They have pressure because when you're that, Florida had pressure and they got swept out the door. Because when you're, when you're 120 points and you're all
You're
that,
coming
and
in
you're,
that hot.
because now you're looking out, you don't want to be embarrassed and you don't want to.
Expectations at that point.
Carolina and New York, I don't think they have any real. I mean, once again, I think they're kind of playing with the house, house
So
money
it's like
type
a bonus
thing.
for them
Yeah.
to be where they're at.
Yeah, especially the Rangers, because the Rangers haven't been there in a while, haven't made the playoffs in a little bit. Edmonton has no pressure in my mind, other than Canada, because the Canadian team hasn't won since '93.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, what they've done here is way more than they've done. They were in the same position as Toronto was, where they couldn't get over the hump, and they finally did this year. So this is beautiful. This is
It's just icing on the cake.
yeah,
for them, right?
go as far as you can go. Yeah, definitely. Tampa, Colorado, gotta be the two that would have
Especially
the most
because the
time.
past couple of years, Colorado's always been where they are right now too, right?
Yeah, they've played very well. Yes,
I mean,
They are-
forever. They've been up there
it's
forever,
like,
right?
It's like the
McKinnon.
It's like the Philadelphia Eagles where they make 4 NFC championships and lose every NFC championship.
It's tough, yeah.
Super Bowl. It's kind of like
Mhm.
almost Colorado the past few years.
Yeah, Colorado and McKinnon. Now, I can't remember what year they won.
Yeah.
I can't remember what year they won the cup. It might have been the year before the St. Louis Cup. Because McKinnon's, right? It'd probably been 4 years ago. Because you had Tampa, St. Louis, and I think it had to be Colorado. It had to be Colorado there. Because how much further could you go back with McKinnon?
Right.
Right? Yeah. Because the 2 COVID Cups, Tampa won. They won both COVID Cups. And, yes, and St. Louis won the last one that wasn't COVID related. And that was, who did they, you know what? Jeez. That's a really good, I wish I would have figured that out. I'd love to, I can't remember, because that was a big upset with St. Louis winning that year. It was
really?
kind of was, yeah, because Bennington was a guy who came out of nowhere. He wasn't really that, he was nothing. He was just a first-time AHL, guy coming up from the minors. And he went the whole way. So, yeah, I agree with both of you guys. It's got to be Tampa, and it's definitely got to be Colorado. But Tampa, Colorado, in my mind, maybe a little more, because Tampa's already won 2, but Tampa, getting that third is a legacy type thing.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
big
big.
deal, because now you're heading into
That's
New York
huge.
Islander
Think about
territory of
that.
the 80s.
Yeah.
And that's just doesn't
Yeah,
happen
you
much
Talked about forever. You pull that off.
to be this dominant in this day and age when everyone seems to be so.
the parody.
parody, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Before we go to break, I want to bring up. You know what? Why don't we take a break? And when I come back from break, I want to talk to you about Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson,
Yes.
and then Colin Kaepernick and the craziness with
Yeah, we got
Kinlaw and
a lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff to get to.
A lot of stuff
So we'll be back in a moment. Good job, guys. All right, welcome back, and thanks to our sponsors. So Josh Donaldson, and playing for the Yankees now. He's played in a lot of teams: Toronto, Atlanta. Tim Anderson is a Chicago White Sox. And to give a little context before we bring up what happened with the little dust up during the Yankees White Sox, Tim Anderson referred to himself back in 2019 as Jackie Robinson, and so okay, fine. And now Donaldson and he's one of those guys that when you play, he just tries to get under the opponent's skin, kind of. Just
Sure.
like how they have him.
Sure, of course. Definitely.
Tim Anderson, according to Donaldson, we'll see his what he said. He called him Jackie, and Anderson at one time didn't mind it, but for some reason now minds it. Here's the little bat. Here's what happens. The catcher there is what confronted him first at home plate. And now all the baseball pushing and shoving happened. But a little more than that. I mean, Anderson you'll see him getting carried away and all this other stuff. There he is. So, I mean, we were talking about this before, off air. And let's think about Donaldson. He is he's one of those people. He's a ball buster, pain in the ass to play against. He's played now on all these different teams. There's never been a problem. No one's ever come out and said this guy's, there's any kind of racial undertones to him. Right. There's been some MLB guys. We talked about Rocker before the show.
Yeah.
Eric Shaw was a guy way back when. Jeff Kent allegedly, I don't know for sure about that, but allegedly had that problem with the 49ers, with the Giants. So there was guys. There was always that undertones of stuff. So Donaldson, no real undertone on that. Why don't we let Donaldson tell us what he thinks?
All right, so first inning I called him Jackie. So let me give you a little context of that. 2019, he came out with an interview, said that he's the new Jackie Robinson of baseball. He's going to bring back fun for the game, right? And 2019, when I played for Atlanta, we actually joked about that on the game. I don't know what's changed and I've said it to him in years past, not in any manner than just joking around, for the fact that he called himself Jackie Robinson, So, if something has changed from that, like my meaning of that is not at any term trying to be racist by any fact of the matter. It was just off of an interview what he called himself. And when we said that before, we joked about it, he laughed, whatever. As you could tell in our series that we've played, there's been multiple times where I've tried to diffuse the situation. Like I took responsibility for the tag, wasn't trying to do anything there. Like today, just trying to diffuse it. Like, hey, like make light. Like, hey, we're not trying to start any brawls or anything like that. Obviously, he deemed that it was disrespectful. And look, if he did, I apologize. Like that's not what I was trying to do by any manner. And that's what happened.
Now, when he's talking about the tag, there was at third base, he tagged Anderson Anderson took exception, thought it was a little too hard.
Rough.
Yeah. And so they had a little mix up. I think that was in the series in Chicago. Because now they came back and it just keeps bubbling,
Gotcha. So this was just growing.
Yeah, until they came back to New York and played. Couple things. Donaldson did get fined and suspended a game. I was looking up Anderson to see if he'd ever been suspended. He has. He got into a shoving match with an umpire, called Kansas City pitcher Brad Keller the N-word, and he was suspended and fined. So that's what you have on those two guys. So whatever. They're both pain in the asses. It seems like to play against. They seem like they're annoying, and they
they're trying to get in the head.
yeah. So
That's
they're
the whole point of it.
so they're going to be not well liked. I mean, I was reading something about Donaldson. He wears out his welcome on every team he goes to. He'll start out, they love him, and then he just got to go. There's been players like that, in the past.
Have you ever have one of those friends?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we've all
Yes.
probably had one of those friends.
Yes.
Where just doesn't know when the joke stops.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys, I'm sure he's that guy.
He's that guy. And Tim Anderson is the guy he's craving attention. And when you say I'm Jackie Robinson, it's tough, man. That's a tough comparison because what do you mean by that?
I'm sure when he said it and realized what he said, he probably wished he didn't say that.
Because you wonder if I would love to ask, what do you mean? Like, what context are you Jackie Robinson? Like, what?
Oh, I
He
think
said,
he
"I'm
said
gonna
it'd
bring
bring
the
fun back to the game.
baseball."
Yeah.
Okay, Jackie Robinson and fun. I got to tell you the truth. I never put them in the same.
Okay.
That was never my thought that there was fun going on for Jackie Robinson in
Yeah,
those
probably not much.
horrible years for what he had to endure and all
He might
that.
have smiled and
He was a great player. I mean, unbelievable.
Phenomenal player.
But like when he said that, I don't know what the hell he meant by it. I was thinking that Tim Anderson would have to apologize
if
to
you
the,
make a statement like that, you have to know you're going to draw attention to yourself.
and you wanted to. You
Obviously.
definitely wanted
Now
to,
he
yeah.
got it again, so there you go.
Now Donaldson did apologize to the Robinson family if it caused any issues, like by any chance of him saying that it hurt anyone's feelings.
Well, good on him for doing that.
Anderson doesn't care, doesn't want to hear anything, could give a damn less.
don't ever talk to him again, then.
That's what was said. That actually is what I believe. One of them. I think they
Next time you
both said it.
Tag him a little hard.
Right. I mean, so I mean, it's
This is going to go on for a while.
it's good for.
How often do they play?
Gosh, they don't play that often because they're not in the same division. So they probably play. There's got to be 2 more series, I bet. At least 6 more games. I
Trust
think.
me, Mark Moore, this is not done.
No, it's not done because someone's going to get hit. Like I thought for
gonna
sure after I watched the very next game after the pushing and shoving, and that was when it all came out about Jackie. I thought for sure Donaldson was going to get hit, and they didn't throw at him, which I was surprised. Now Tony La Russa, forgot about him. That you know what? He is a piece of garbage, straight out piece of garbage.
Yeah.
He was the manager over there with the A's back with Mark,
Yep.
and St. Louis and everything else. They asked him, and I wish I had brought up this film. I didn't even think of him. What he thought about Donaldson. He came straight out and called him a racist. He said it right out. This guy's a racist. He just said it like that. And I thought to myself, if I'm the manager of the other team, if I'm the Yankees, I'd be livid.
Yeah,
There was no
yes.
response to him. No response at all. At all. It just like went away. He said, I couldn't believe he said it. I mean, I've never heard anyone he just come right. I mean,
How much traction did it get?
not too much,
No,
really.
that-
Well, Aaron
Then
Boone's
maybe they looked at it as though they didn't get a lot of traction.
let it
Don't
go.
poke that bear. Yeah. Sure.
Because Aaron
Bring
Boone,
attention to
the
it.
manager of the Yankees, he was asked about it, and he did the first thing was, and let me look into it type of thing. So then he looked into it, and then he did say, there's probably better things that Josh could be doing and saying, but I don't believe it was done in any way to be harmful or hurtful to
The
anyone.
explanation was I get it. You get when you put context to it.
Now, well, the only thing that I will say it's good for is Major League Baseball. You need these things.
Drama.
You need it. I wish it wouldn't be in the context of Jackie Robinson type
Right, I get
stuff.
what you're saying. I know what you're
But it's good.
having a dust up between a couple
Yeah.
players over something. It's just what it's
Like,
over is the bad.
Yeah,
bad
just
that you'd
if
rather
it was
not
just
be
the
there.
hard tag, that'd be fine.
Right,
but when
right.
you get into this, then you're like everyone's kind of got to walk on eggshells because you don't know what you
Yeah.
can say, you don't know what you can do.
That sucks.
And I think everyone's a little bit like I think the Yankees would have had a response to La Russa normally, but what can you respond? You just gotta
Yeah,
you just
don't-
gotta be quiet.
Just a touch.
But La Russa's a piece of garbage.
Touchy, but he should never have said that.
Because-
I'm sure something happened behind the scenes had to have been. There had
He
to
was
be a
pissed.
call,
Well,
something.
he was pissed off. I saw it was right after the game because of course they get right into the manager's room, the media.
Oh, so he's just
And-
judging before he really knows that really all the facts.
Yeah, he knew nothing. He just what he heard. But I mean, the thing with him is he is responsible, in my mind, for steroids, or at least to tell you the truth, he watched it, he condoned it, and didn't
Turned
care.
a blind eye.
Yeah.
No way he did.
He didn't know. So,
No way.
in all honesty, he should probably
Sure.
just keep quiet because he did a lot to yes, they say he did that steroids helped the game, but it also hurt it because once that was over with, those years, that
Sure.
chase with Sosa and McGuire, things had to go. Like there has to be a correction,
Yeah.
a stat correction, or something has to happen.
Asterisk something.
Yeah. So I mean, Tony La Russa, what? Well, you know what? I never liked La Russa though. I mean, he's always
He's always been a douchebag.
Yeah, and I just can't believe he'd come right out. And I mean, to have that, I mean, it was unbelievable. I should have brought it up. Damn it!
That
It was
is a pretty- that's a pretty
it was
hardcore
stunning
statement.
because he says to the guy, "Who are you? Where are you from? What newspaper are you from?" And the guy said, "What New York Post, whatever." He goes, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you." He goes, "I'm not talking to you anyways. Forget it." So then someone got from the Chicago Sun
at the
Times.
podium?
No, he's just sitting in his desk because that's what they do for Major League Baseball. The managers, they're in their office.
Okay.
And they just sit at there, and they just come in.
Okay.
And then he answered the guy. He just said it right out. Yeah, he asked him what he thought, and he said he just said it. I was stunned that you would just let that out.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure Major League Baseball wouldn't be happy about that either.
yeah.
You know.
So that was the baseball. As we go on here, we're going to get into baseball more. In the season because right now with everything else, and it's 162 games. It's right now though. Aaron Judge, I will say this about him for the Yankees. He's got like 18 home runs and like almost 40 RBIs already.
It's out, man.
And that's in probably 50
look
games, maybe by now. So
He's look good.
he's playing well. The Dodgers, of course, are always lately since they decided to spend money. Because remember, for a long while the Dodgers weren't that great.
Right.
They're playing well, and the White Sox are actually having a good season. So we'll get back into that once we get. I think the Mets are too, by the way. The Mets are playing all right. Let's get into the NFL. The great NFL. Colin Kaepernick. I got some. You know what? I got some. Well, we can talk over the video highlights. I wanted to. This is what was kind of messed up about Kaepernick. I went to go find highlights of Kaepernick, and it said the top 10 plays of his career. Not one of them was him throwing the ball. So I'm like, I want to see this guy throw the ball. Why am I? You know what I mean? I know he had the 90-yard run. You'll see it here. That ridiculous 90. But I want to see him throw. And
Well, that was his shtick. Mainly, he was like
he was ahead of his time a
quicker
little.
Michael Vick.
Yeah, kind of ahead of his time.
Yeah,
now that
right.
everyone wants it, type of thing. But I mean, some of the runs are ridiculous. I mean, this one here is 56 yards. I mean, the 90-yard run though is just. I mean. I guess my point was I wanted to see him. I couldn't remember, it's been so long, what he looked like when he threw. It's been a long time since we've seen this guy play. And
that was this where he's getting all these runs in? Was that that first year? Because it was like, wasn't it the next year? He went on that run that first year.
right.
Then the next year,
Which was
everybody kind of had tape on him.
What
and
was his Super Bowl
things
year?
Started.
Was the Super
it
Bowl
the
year his first year? Was
wasn't
it?
I believe so.
Was it his first year with the? And it was a great team. I mean, geez,
Oh yeah, they had a phenomenal team, but I thought it was his first year as quarterback.
could be.
I may be wrong, but I thought that it was.
So I mean, as we go through these highlights, I mean, I just want to see him throw. Now this is a great pass. This is a good throw.
Sure.
Look at this. This is right on.
Yeah. Dropping a dime.
How can you beat that? I mean, that's as good as it gets, right?
Sure.
So unfortunately for him, though, he's been gone for 5-6 years or whatever it is, and
I mean, he was a great. He wasn't.
he wasn't
He was a good
great. He was
quarterback.
good though.
He
He
was
was good. Very good. I mean, why not? Look, this is in the Super Bowl. There he goes.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I mean, he was definitely better than a lot of the guys that were.
Look at this run. Look
There
at
was
this.
a little. There was a little time there where he was better than about 5 other quarterbacks that were starters on other teams.
Sure. Yeah.
He was
At
a
any given
steal
year.
in the 4th round.
Right.
It was like
Yeah,
a 4th
for
round
sure.
pick.
Yeah. Unbelievable. It was a great.
Russell Wilson.
And I'm trying to think of who he supplanted over there in San Francisco, but I can't. It doesn't really matter.
Oh,
But
probably some.
could have been Alex Smith. No.
Smith, yeah.
Could it have been him? Maybe. Very well.
maybe
Could
it
probably was because he's
Yeah,
been there
yeah,
for
you
so
know, that would
long.
make sense.
But
And that's when Alex went to what? Kansas
Kansas
City.
City, yeah.
but I mean, now it's been. I got it written next. I forgot. It's been what, 6 years, Robin? 5 years, 6 years for him since we've seen him.
6 years.
He did have his
A
tryout.
long time,
He had
man, to be out of
tryouts in
football.
2017 with the Seahawks.
Right.
But they didn't want to bring him in because they thought he had too big of a personality to back up
I remembered
Russell
that.
Wilson.
Yes, I remember that. But he did do his workout for Las Vegas. Schefter
Mark
said,
seems to be fine with him.
yeah, Schefter said it
Seems to have gone
went well.
well, yeah.
But no, according to Schefter, no deal is really imminent. Who knows?
Right.
But remember, I mean, geez, 6 years is a long time. He's 34. I don't know what to say about it.
Long time.
I mean,
It's
anyone-
a long time to be out of it.
Any
It's a
yeah,
very long time to be out of football.
and anyone to be out of any quarterback out 6, any player. I mean, it's a long time.
I'm really shocked that he even got a. I mean, maybe that's all it's going to be. Is just that giving him a shot.
It'll be
There
interesting.
was 2 teams prior to Las Vegas
That were thinking about it?
in
Trying.
him
So I
out.
wonder why,
Why
they
not?
didn't pull the trigger then.
The Vegas?
Anybody else?
Anybody else? Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, right. Maybe they will now. Maybe they will.
That might trigger it right there.
Yeah, to
You
see
know?
exactly
Yeah.
what's going on, and
They'll
it
get
seems like they
tape
liked
on
what they
him
saw.
maybe and see-
Yeah.
okay, and they'll get that out
And
there.
hell, I don't care. I mean, there's people that get on both sides. I'm getting out of the politics of it because I don't
Let the
care.
dude play.
Let's do it on the merits of the game, of him out there, and on our analyst eyes, and certainly not that great. We don't know nothing. We're just watching. I mean, if he is able to throw like he just did right there, if he's still doing that stuff,
Yeah.
to have him be your backup would be fine.
If
That'd
he's
be
better
great.
than any other quarterback you have on your roster,
And they got Jarrett.
then
and here's
why
who
not?
here's who Vegas has. They have
They
Stidham,
got Stidham
Mullins,
on
and Chase Garbers. So
Garbers probably is not going to be around.
he might be able to get himself in there.
He might if they keep 2.
Yeah, they very well might get him in there.
Well,
I
how many
mean,
they're going to keep though? How many are going to keep?
they probably keep. What do they usually do?
I don't know. Some only keep 2.
Two, and then
So
you
I
got
don't
the
know.
ones
I
with
guess
3. Yeah, it depends
you
on
know?
what they want to do. I don't think they brought him in. I don't think they brought him in not to sign him. By the way, if they bring him in and not sign him, I think it's a.
They want to sell some more of those seat licenses. out
I
there
think
in Las Vegas.
I agree with that, and
A little pricey. I heard.
I agree, and I also think it'll be a nightmare if they brought him in and not sign him. And I mean
A PR nightmare?
Yes.
You think?
Oh my God, you're gonna bring him in again, and now you're not gonna
Unless-
sign him, and he
unless-
better be bad.
Unless it triggers people working him out,
Okay.
and somebody does eventually sign him. But
You got a
I don't know.
question?
Yeah, Don says, but do we really need another distraction in the league?
Well, I wouldn't call him a distraction,
it's a
because
good
I don't think he's going to
distraction,
do
wouldn't it
anything. Yeah, I don't think he would do anything. I
Yeah,
think
there's
I don't
really
see.
no- yeah, I don't think
see there's anything going on. I think he. I don't think so. I mean, I'm fine with whatever he does. I could care less. I mean, if he's good enough, get in there. If you're not, you're not. The only problem I have with it is, if he's not, you're almost going to have to prove he's not, or hope he comes out and says I'm not, because otherwise you're going to be looked at in a bad
Yeah,
light.
yeah.
That's my
Yeah, if he doesn't
concern
get
for the
signed
team.
Right.
If you've brought him in for this and you don't sign him, what's the ramifications for you if you didn't do it? Now, and it's too bad. See, it's a mess, because now it's a mess on everything, because we can't. It's not fair. It's not fair to the Raiders to say no, we don't
not
we
fair
don't
to
want
guys
to.
who are
It's
already
not
there.
fair to everybody,
Right.
Because or
Right. I know.
Kaepernick himself,
But-
because it's
But it is that time of year. It's
Yeah.
not like there's a solid lineup yet, so it is that time
Yeah.
of year where nobody's spots guaranteed.
I'm gonna
So
bet. I'm gonna give it
You can
a.
bring him in at a vet minimum.
Well, why not?
'Cause
Why?
they're not going to pay him a ton of money.
No, it's not for
6
that.
years out of the league, he's going to say it isn't about money. Bring him in a vet minimum, make everybody happy.
And he's
Let
gotta
him play
play-
a couple preseason
Yes,
games.
that's where
right?
you'll see his
You let
preseason
him Play
games.
some
Yeah.
preseason games, or at least maybe
They gotta
fourth
bring him in.
preseason game.
They've got
right?
to,
Sure.
Scott. They got to bring him
Sure.
in.
You
They
showcase him, and if he's worth it,
better keep
then
him.
you sign him.
Yeah, you got to keep
But
him
if
to
he
at least.
shows everybody in the league on the field during that time that he's not,
I would play him in
then,
spring.
then
Yes,
there you go. Then everybody's got a clean break.
he needs to.
Right?
He needs to be. They need to bring him in and let him play preseason. Yeah, like just give
Sure,
preseason
absolutely,
games,
man.
because
You don't have to keep him.
no, you
Let
cut him
him
in. You
showcase
cut through the
himself. Maybe
preseason.
somebody else will pick him up and give him.
Sure.
That's all. Honestly, I'll bet you that's all the dude wants,
They should do that.
to prove that he can still do it. And if he can't, it's going to be shown very quickly.
Yeah.
My NFL question actually pertains to Kaepernick, and I
Okay, go ahead.
I was just wondering if you guys think there's any team in the league where he could be a starter.
I don't know, because I haven't seen him. I have no idea. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess it'd be
but
good to
Where
see
do you
him.
think would
If
be
he
the
plays
fit
good,
for him if he
Carolina.
plays well?
Okay, if he's playing good, yeah, sure.
Carolina.
To teams that just don't have anybody right now.
Yeah.
He could go play. He could be
Houston,
he could go
I
compete
guess.
Houston. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Carolina's a good one.
Carolina
you know.
would probably be his best option to have an opportunity.
Kind
to
of-
start. Seattle. I think they're stuck with. I think they're really locked in on.
For now, yeah.
Right.
Until they get
Let's
something
call
else.
it.
I can't see,
Brock.
but I could definitely. look, if he's anywhere near that, he should be starting. If he's anywhere what we just watched, he should start.
What have they said?
No, there's
Have you
nothing
ever
really
heard
to
anything from
say.
any of his workouts?
Well,
Except they said-
the workouts are
anybody can
terrible.
Run around in shorts.
Well, that's what we're seeing. We're not seeing anything
anybody
else.
Can run around and do that.
They
I mean,
they
that's
did the
like-
one in Michigan, and it was
Cruise
terrible. The one in Michigan was
anybody
terrible.
can look good like that. But
Yeah, it's not telling you anything.
Right.
It's telling you he's got some arm strength. That's good.
he's got to.
And, you know,
he's got to be out on a football field.
I'm
with
sure
pads.
he's So that's why you got to.
Pretty accurate passes.
Yeah,
But
and they had some that were
no
overthrown.
question.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
is that the type of workout the Raiders just put him through?
I don't know. We don't know. It's quiet. I think it's been
Oh,
kept.
yeah,
I
okay.
think they sign. If I'm the
Something
Raiders,
not leaked
I'm
yet.
signing him right. I'm bringing him in, and I want him to play preseason games for me, and see what happens. And if everything's okay, why not? There he goes. There we
You
go.
got a great backup if
Uh,
it goes down. And
yeah.
that
And if
actually
it doesn't
plays
work, it doesn't
similar,
work.
Similar mobile quarterback.
Yes.
I don't know if he, can he adapt to
Yeah.
the Derek Carr's type offense?
Right.
I'm sure he can. Similar quarterback though.
And just put your mind in the mindset of an owner of a team. You know, that has got to be if you have Kaepernick, that's got to be the best selling backup quarterback.
Definitely.
jersey
Oh my
ever.
God. Yes.
Like, you're
Yeah.
making a lot of money off
Dude,
that.
you know
Yes.
what? Those
Yes.
licenses
Absolutely.
at that stadium
Yes.
are very expensive. I know they cost a ton, and if you want to sell them, you sign something like that, you're probably going to sell a ton of them
Yes.
because you're so close to California, right there. You're so close to Hollywood and all that.
I think it's a no-brainer for Las Vegas
Sure.
to definitely bring him in.
I would do it.
Yeah. I think though you're in trouble. Like I said, if all of a sudden they say we're not in,
But
you
it's
got to
a
be
damned-
careful.
But yeah, you could be in a damned if you do,
Yeah.
damned if you don't.
I think you got to kind of be careful. Real quick before we get to our next story, the NFL increased the number of veteran players to the practice squad for each week. Practice squad remains at 16, but teams can now keep 6 veteran players up from 2 of last year. So nice. They
Yeah,
get to
that's
keep
great.
4 more vets.
Awesome.
So good. I don't
As
know
it
if I
should be.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, but let's go. Kaepernick played for the 49ers. We're still going to deal with the 49ers as if we're in Northern California. But this
Boy,
here,
they are just a.
let the
Stop
people are
talking
going to
about
have to hear
people on
this.
here like
Yeah.
people don't got families, my nigga. Stop doing that shit, bro. What you get out of doing this? What satisfaction do you get out of this?
Hey,
man?
wait. Can you pause that for a second?
Yeah, we got to give it some.
Can I ask you a
Yeah,
question?
I don't know if these people are going to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That right there is Javon Kinlaw, right?
Yes. Kill 'em.
Defensive tackle of the 49ers. The other guy you're seeing, his last name is Cohen. Grant.
Grant Cohen, yeah.
Grant Cohen. He is Sports Illustrated, doing a podcast for Sports Illustrated, covering the 49ers. He is a credentialed guy.
Credentialed
So
guy.
this isn't just someone like us doing it.
He's in the
a-
locker room
every week.
He's there at practice every day.
Yep.
He's around those guys asking questions all the time.
Now, he has said, Cohen, he's been on this guy's case, saying his knees are like they're 80 years old
Yeah,
and
he had 80-year-old
everything
knees, and
else.
They should have drafted Tristan Wirfs instead.
Right, yes.
and-
All kinds of stuff. Now, this guy has an incredible background. He comes from a he was homeless as a
Homeless,
child.
yeah.
He had a tough background and stuff. But now, so you guys know, here he is.
Like people don't got families, my nigga. Stop doing that shit, bro. What you get out of doing this? What satisfaction do you get out of this, fam?
Can I ask you a question?
Answer my question.
What satisfaction do I get out of analyzing the 49ers? A lot.
Man, you analyzing people like they not human, fam. Like, oh, this dude this dude that, this dude that. Fam, I understand that's your job, but like, bro, you got to go about this thing a different type of way, bro.
Hold on.
You got to go about this a different type of way, bro.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
What did I say about you that you object to?
Fam, all this shit you talking, all this back and forth, all this bickering, all this, I was in the training room today. Fam, the training room is nowhere near the field. Ma'am, I looked at you, you looked at me, you pulled your shades up, came walking over a little bit, not walking to me, you walked up a little bit just so I could make sure that it was you. I walked over, I approached you, put my chest on you, on your side. You turned towards me, and that was the rest of the story, fam.
Hold on, though.
Stop making it seem like I came about you at a cowardly way. I came at you man to man, brother. Put some respect on my name, bro. You don't know me. You don't know where I'm from, bro. Put some respect on my name, brother. I'm a man just like you. My nuts is bigger than yours, brother.
I asked you what I said about you.
My balls is bigger than yours, brother. Put some respect on my name.
All right, Javon.
Put some respect on my name, brother. Stop talking about me like I'm an animal.
And there you go.
Don't speak with your mouth.
Yeah, I know.
He
had to be like a chipmunk, though.
I think what it is I got an idea. Obviously, he's not showing the dude any respect at all as a journalist, which is why he's he knows he's being interviewed.
Here's my question, though.
100%.
Where was it?
Sure.
How did you keep it in?
I don't know.
That was a long. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what he had in there.
Wow.
A lot of something.
Yeah. So there's
The Godfather with the
yes, he was.
Exactly.
So now he's saying put respect on my name. Well, let's see if he did.
Yeah, tough guy. Where's he at?
He's so mad. Like, Javon, what are you upset about? Is it the fact that I said you have an 80-year-old knee? Is it the fact that I said that you're a terrible pass rusher and you're just a two-down player? Is it the fact that I said the Niners shouldn't have drafted you and they should have taken Tristan Wirfs instead? Is it the fact that I said that you're unprofessional and immature? It escapes me. Which of the 100 negative things I've said about Javon Kinlaw the last couple of years moved him to approach me in such a way? But you know what? Hundreds of things. I applaud Javon Kinlaw for coming to speak to me directly. And
I gotta think that was from the show you watch. What the hell? Who is that? Who's the guy? Your podcast? Oh God.
Oh, McAfee?
Yeah, that was from their show. So thanks for them.
Yeah, they were talking about because he couldn't keep it. He couldn't keep he kept editing it because he couldn't keep it running there.
So I mean,
but you missed the spot where which is fine, where he said I thought he was gonna.
He got pushed. Yes,
he was gonna. I thought he was gonna make me a millionaire that day.
Yes, he said he got his hat knocked off his head, and I guess
that's all he did. He walked behind him and knocked his hat. That's
and
all.
He said, I heard. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get that part, but where he says, yeah, I was thinking I would be a millionaire if he pushed me or hit me. So I mean,
but when he said that, it was very cocky the way he said that. He was
definitely. Yeah.
No, he's being a little smartass on there, and I'm sorry because he probably realizes that who his daddy is that got him the job, that he got him credentialed in the first place, right? Because I'm sure that's how he got that credential.
It has to be.
He's probably untouchable, so there's nothing that player's going to do. That player's probably going to be gone in a couple of years.
He better watch it. Sports Illustrated don't fire him.
But. I don't know. He was a smart ass.
No, it was bad. It was bad.
I guess he talks a lot of shit about the players because a lot of star players came out against the guy.
Yeah, Ayuk did. I know Deebo Samuel did, and Eric Armstead did.
Yeah. Those are some pretty big name players, man.
I'll tell you one thing though, and I can't even want to say this. If he's talking about them as players, that's interesting. If he's talking about them as people, that's worse.
I think he goes a little too far.
Does he go even beyond?
Yeah, I've heard what they say.
Okay.
He talks the way he talks about him. I guess I haven't read his articles. I guess I have to see, but seeing the way he talks on there, I'm not going to be shocked at what I probably find the way he talks about guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Jim Rome days are done. Right? Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yes.
I think he was trying to be shocking a little, but although it sounds like he does it all the time, I think the only thing I'll say is this: if you're
an NFL player and you're crying over getting told you have an 80-year-old knee, come on.
No, it wasn't just that. It's this has been going on. There's been multiple things the guy said about the guy.
But why?
I guess it wasn't just one incident.
Well, he said he didn't want him to be drafted. Yeah,
he said quite a few things about him.
I guess my thing is, what? I mean, I don't know. Journalist, and I guess he's considered one.
I'd hire him at
Girls, yeah. Well, yeah, because he's got no problem talking. Yeah,
absolutely. He's probably going to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he doesn't care. I would give him an A. I give him an A at what he did for his job. I'm just
kind of. I don't know if that's going to get what he needs though, because he needs the access. And they might. And if they cut him, if they cut him off, and Deebo Samuel won't want to talk to him no more, that's tough. That's going to be a tough time because what's he going to do? No one wants to really just hear, Although he does have a lot of guys that are. Well, let's listen to what he has to say.
At the 49ers facility, We hashed it out. He said everything he wanted to say. I listened. We shook hands. We squashed it. It's over. So what I want to say is I appreciate Javon Kinlaw for meeting me today and taking the time to tell me exactly how he felt. I respect him, and I deeply appreciate John Lynch for facilitating it. It was all in his office. So it was his idea. It was a very grown-up thing that he did, and I feel like I'm better for it. I hope we all feel that way. Anyway, it's squashed. It's over. It has a happy ending. Let's move on.
Well, not so happy, because not enough respect has been put on Kinlaw's name, because he said, Cohen is lying. Nothing is squashed. I shook your hand only for my organization. Nowhere was anything squashed, and you know that. So hopefully they'll keep on going.
John Lynch probably said, hey, man, come here.
Oh, yeah, you got to try to.
His hand. You got to shake his
well,
hand.
because I don't.
Shake his hand and squash his hand.
I got to be honest with you. They probably didn't like how he was. The organization probably didn't like the way he was talking.
Absolutely not.
Saying
sure
that, you know.
Right, with his nuts.
Yeah, and all that. And there's even worse. I stopped it because I didn't want to keep going with it on here.
I was getting out of control. He got mad.
He got even worse. There's even worse. And I kind of I felt like, well, that's far enough as I want to roll on here at 6 o'clock.
John. He
don't care. He does not care. And he shouldn't care. I mean, but yeah, he called him something. I can't even say it. I don't even want to say it because it's kind of funny, but it's just too much for me to take.
He was ragging on him good, man. Yeah. He was all over him.
Yeah, he told him he had a little D and everything else. It was really, this is kind of funny. It's kind of, yeah. Well, right, you got a problem. Oh, my God. Anyways, so I love this stuff, though, because that's media, that's players, and through the years, we've had so much of that. I mean, I just had it in the hockey. Steve Simmons of the Toronto Star, or Sun, whatever the hell it is, he was saying how it was with the Maple Leafs. He approached the coach and said, why did you keep playing the worst defenseman on your team? And it was in a press conference setting, and the coach said, well, who's my worst defenseman? And he mentioned a player's name, and he just kind of like laughed at it and said, yeah, just kind of like pretty much shrugged him off. But similar stuff.
Sure. Right,
guys talking junk, and the bigger the city.
Look at today, dude. Yeah. Lamar Jackson. And Chris Sims.
Yeah, right.
There's another one where he said, stop talking. Why don't you talk about something else, Chris?
Yeah, right.
You don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah. Well, you see, the thing, it's a different world because...
if these guys are bored, there's not a lot to talk about football world right now. So if you're a football journalist...
Yeah, and
you got to create stuff like
and
that,
it's all over the, online stuff. How can the players even avoid it? Before you didn't have to read the paper. Now it's kind of like it's in your face everywhere.
Oh, for sure. You don't go to the voluntary OTAs. You're
well, who didn't do that? Jackson and what you call it? And Kyler Murray. I don't believe he did, right?
Nope, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he didn't go.
So
but yeah, I don't care. I mean, I don't think the teams even care.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to be there. I don't think they care.
I think the backup is serviceable.
Real fast before we go, can you bring up that little thing with LaShawn McCoy? This was something you were talking about. No, he is Eric Bieniemy. He was a running back for Colorado. Loved him. I think he's the thing he seems to be doing well with our guy Andy Reid.
But
what was the but?
He gets interviewed for head coaching jobs, but never seems to get one. And I have heard it before.
And now LaShawn's going to tell us.
That he didn't interview well. That's what I've heard. I've literally heard it on sports shows where they go, man, how can Bieniemy, look at the offense they got. How has he not gotten a head coaching job? He gets interviews. So what's up? And they said, oh, maybe he doesn't interview well. That's what they've always said.
Right.
So,
well, McCoy told us, McCoy says he talks to players in a certain way. So when Andy Reid on the comment of McCoy, sometimes it's hard. This is Reid's comment. Sometimes it's hard on a veteran player. Maybe their performance level isn't what it used to be, and it's hard to take criticism sometimes. Bieniemy's going to push you to maximize what you've got. That's one of his strengths. So, interesting, right? I mean,
I totally get the kind of coach that Bieniemy probably is.
And it seems like...
I mean, we've all probably had a guy like that. You've never had that guy?
And I'm guessing the Chiefs don't mind. They win.
I had a guy that was a total lunatic.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't even believe he was a Tyrol.
Oh, many. I've seen them.
Maniac.
Yeah.
He played for the Bills at one point in time.
Maniac.
Total...
Yeah, well,
Maniac.
Parents ruin it. Yeah.
He was a complete lunatic, man.
Well,
it was crazy.
But Bieniemy here, he Man, he might just wait and take over because at some point Reed's going to retire here
Maybe
soon.
That's what the plan is.
Because
what is it about him?
Yeah, I don't know.
What
because
no one's he's coaching.
No one's saying anything.
Interviews.
Yeah.
That is he coming off as just I don't really give a shit what you say. This is what I'm saying.
They've kept it quiet. We don't know. But what I'm saying is the players don't. I haven't heard much complaint. I mean, think about all the guys that have gone through there. The winning they've done.
It's the first time I've heard anybody say anything about it.
Yeah, I mean it was.
But why would LeSean,
Why does he even bother? But why? I don't know
if he was lying.
Well, you heard what?
I don't believe he's lying. I just believe nobody probably ever says anything about it.
No, even Andy Reid didn't say he was lying.
He was later in his career, and he probably didn't want his coach talking to him
that way,
like he was talking to the younger guy. I'm sure that's what it was.
And I think Reid kind of said it. Yeah,
pissed off something Bieniemy said to him.
Yeah, and Andy Reid,
listen, you little
whatever
baby, get back in line. Do another run just like the rest of everybody. Something. Don't disrespect him.
Well, I mean, LeSean McCoy by that time was done. I mean, it was over. Yeah,
his career probably figures he's going to be respected by these guys.
And you're not.
Bieniemy probably didn't treat him like that.
Right. Well, they're probably even. Bieniemy was 52 years old, so he's 52 now. It's just, it makes me. It's kind of funny though. I mean, what in the world? What do they expect out of these guys? These are football players, right? These are guys that get their heads bashed in for a living. You're either going to come in talking like, the Queen's English, you know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do? This guy's going to tell them, get in there. Hey, I don't know what they say.
I can't. But, I could have. I mean, I remember just from high school football.
Right.
I mean, you know how it can get.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I can imagine at the adult level like that, it's probably.
And there's money, and
I can sit here and say things, but I'm not going.
Well, LeSean McCoy probably made more money than Eric Bieniemy at that point.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he was.
Absolutely.
And there's, the NFL though. I mean, geez. I mean, you talk about the pressure, right? The money, the whole deal, and everything's going on. I don't know. I was odd that McCoy would. Why in the world? Who asked him this question?
He probably had to, I'm sure something was
and he waited this long.
Get it out, man.
It's 2022.
He's like,
you
know what? I'm on the podcast. Yeah. I'm gonna bust something out right here. Let's
talk
some shit.
Yeah, right. I like Bieniemy. I would love. I don't know. How do I know him? I don't know him, but he seems to do a great. Seem to like him. I haven't heard a word.
Heard about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Donaldson. No one's ever said in all the teams he's played on. No one's ever had a complaint other than the fact that he's he's one of those people that gets under people's skin. He'll get someone hit on your team. You know what I mean? Because he got a big mouth, and someone will get hit by a pitch.
I get you.
But like Bieniemy, that was interesting.
La Russa says otherwise.
La Russa is a piece of garbage. I know he's going to hit him. He's going to do something. You know what, though? And the Yankees should be ashamed because Aaron Boone should have – there should have been a response. You don't allow him to talk like that.
What kind of shot you shot? How many days ago was this that he said?
Oh, this is weeks now. This is over a week at least.
Nothing ever?
No, all the Yankees did was try to –
Maybe they just didn't want to bring it to
Oh, I don't think –
That's the only thing I can think of.
I'm guessing that had to be it. But as far as the manager, though, I could see the upper management, I know
what you're saying. There's a point to be made there.
Oh, my God. To let them talk about your player, that's always a problem.
Well, yeah.
Always.
Let's just say something like that.
Holy cow.
That's a pretty tough thing to say about somebody.
And you know what's funny? I never liked Donaldson and all the different teams he played for. And I'm a Yankees fan. I still don't really like him. But I don't think that was... I think like we went back to... I just think Anderson... Maybe it just... You know what? I agree with what Donaldson said. Maybe it just bothered him now. Maybe it just bothered him now. Maybe for some reason he didn't want to hear it no more. Maybe he said it too many times.
Maybe something happened in his life that now it bothers him.
But maybe he's heard it too much from...
the wrong way.
But maybe Donaldson said it too much. And it's too... You've gone overboard enough, The joke's
over.
over. Yeah, right. Sometimes we've seen that.
Knows that dick.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's time to...
I'm quite sure that's exactly... Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it if that's what it was. If it's been... Since 2019 he's been doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it gets stale after a while.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Well, let me go down our rundown of what we got going on here at Gorillas Inc. because we're getting ready to wrap it up. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Falls Count Anywhere. Charlie Turner and Chris DiCarlo. They have a really good guest tomorrow. And their guests are from all over the country. Really good guests. Excellent clips if you like old wrestling. Monday, Citizens United with me and Noel Del Zoppo will be here. And who knows what will go on in that show because that show's pretty much just up for grabs all the time. And I know I have some interesting news. And this is for your local people here in Niagara County because you out there that don't worry. In Niagara Falls, New York, where we are, I have some great news to shed on well, I wouldn't call it great. Great for me because I find it funny, but it'll be outstanding for everyone. And so, anyways, okay. So that's then. Tuesday's Robin, and it's Gorillas Inc. Views with Robin Restino over there, so I've kind of pretty much let her just take it over, and I will just be there standing by, and it's her show. So then on Wednesdays, we are going to have, she'll be back, she's on vacation, but she'll be back the following week, Real Estate Reality with Kathleen Lloyd from Howard Hanna. She had a great debut, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Yep, yeah. You learn a lot on that.
I like that show.
Wade is going to be doing a show. Now, I'm not going to give out when it's coming, and it's coming like next week. Probably Thursday, right, Wade? If not the following. It's going to be on a Thursday, though. Politics, etc. It's going to be good. A lot of good information. I already know kind of what the first show is going to be. It's really good. It's really good. Like, there's a lot to learn on this one. Wade, it's a great show. And then Friday, us. We'll be back.
Beautiful.
That's it, Scott. Any parting words for the people, the audience?
Nope.
No, I am. Me neither.
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
That's about it, man.
Yeah, that's
cool,
right.
You know?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Holiday weekend.
Yes.
All right, let's go home.
United will be on
We'll be on Memorial Day. Yeah, we don't
Memorial Day,
take.
everybody.
Yeah, no breaks here. Take care, everyone.